Have you ever received energy work and felt incredible as a result? You feel lighter, you feel more invigorated, you feel like your problems have just magically gone away. And then after a little while, after a few days, and you go through that kind of recovery period from really heavy-duty energy work, you discover that you kind of go back to your everyday life. And as a result, you go back to your everyday thinking, your everyday thought process, and your problems and your burdens just come right back as though you had never had the energy work in the first place. This is quite common, actually. And so in this video, we're going to talk about how to overcome this issue, what is actually causing it, and I'll also be performing a burden release activation to help you remove some of those burdens that you might still have after some incredible energy work. So let's get started. You can receive energy work from the most powerful light workers in the world and still feel like it has no effect. Sometimes this is just because it's integrated so well, you don't even actually notice it. So don't jump to the conclusion that it didn't work. When you do that, you then can make that true because your own free will is very powerful. Another way that the energy work doesn't really sink in is after it's all done and after you've gone through your recovery period that you often have with very high vibrational energy work, you can return to your normal everyday life and pick up on your old habits. And some of those old habits have a detrimental effect to your overall vibration. I really like to break it down into two categories. There's the mindset vibration and there's the energetic vibration. When you receive very powerful energy work, your energetic vibration raises quite high. But if your mindset doesn't change, if you continue to look at life through a lens of lower vibrational emotions, things don't work out for me, I'm still living with this problem person who doesn't love me or who abuses me, I'm still experiencing disappointment and anger and frustration and shame and all those lower vibrational emotions, then even if your energetic vibration is high, if your mindset vibration is low, it'll pull it right down. So there's a couple of good tricks, there's a couple of good tips that you can use. And really, I teach a class on this. I have a 7-week course that changes your mindset vibration from down here to up here. And now your energetic vibration has no choice but to raise up as well. Of course, I'm also giving you tons of energy healing every week. So actually what's happening is both things are moving up and you move into this incredible state of bliss and understanding of the world and setting yourself up for fifth dimensional ascension and the 0 point of non-judgment. But let's go ahead and run through a few items, a few things that you can do to raise your mindset vibration. Understand that the experiences in your life are happening for you, not to you. This is the foundation upon which we build everything. You have to understand that every experience that you have in your life, you actually set out for yourself before you were born. So you picked your parents, you picked your abusers, you picked your abuse situations, you picked every circumstance that you are currently experiencing. Why did you do this to yourself? So that you could learn from it, so that you could have lessons, so that you could experience it. Maybe in your life track, your multiple life track, you hadn't had this particular experience before. And so you wanted to try it on for size because you know you can handle it. And if you know that you can handle it, if you chose this before you're born, then it gives you a little bit more of a boost of confidence that, you know what? Yeah, I can handle this. Bring it on. That attitude is huge and raises your mindset vibration through the roof. Another huge one is to be the child. Enjoy this life. Play and pretend. Do these sorts of things because that child mind lives in the moment. It's excited about things. These are higher vibrational experiences that I can't recommend enough. Also, speak to the master. In each of us is a child and a master. And I explain how to do this in the video that I've linked above. Realize that you are source and that everything exists is you, just in a different form. Everything in this world you created as source. Every politician, every individual, every rock, every animal, every planet, every solar system, everything in existence you created, and you created it just so, exactly like this, for some wonderful and amazing reason. It's very difficult for us to understand all the intricacies of what we created and why we created it. However, all we have to do from these limited perspectives is understand that there's a great reason and trust that it's all working out exactly as you meant it to. Follow your highest excitement. To take a page from Bashar's teachings, which is one of my favorite channels, Bashar teaches to follow your highest excitement with no expectation as to the results. I've created multiple videos on this too, and there's one that you can watch right here about apathy and how to motivate yourself and figure out what your life purpose is using the tool that is your excitement, which comes very naturally. Walk up the chart to unconditional love. Another tool and tactic that I tell all my students and anyone who I talk to practically is this method of using the emotional frequency chart to raise your vibration by, when you have a lower vibrational emotional experience, to look at that emotional experience through the lens of higher vibrational ones. I have another video, a couple of videos actually, to talk about this, and I'll link those above as well. One of the other energy work failings that you hear about all the time, certainly I do, is negative entity attachment removal. People will go to the most powerful energy workers of the world and have their negative entity attachments removed. And it works, but it only works for a certain amount of time for some people. We can remove them, but you are powerful, you have your own free will, and you can call them right back to you. This is definitely a problem, and it doesn't matter how powerful the energy worker is, your mindset trumps them every time. So using these methods can make a huge difference in removing negative entities for good. The other approach, of course, is I teach a class. It's a 7-week class that helps you remove negative entities for the rest of your life. I'll leave a link in the description below so that you could check that out if you're interested. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and perform a burden release activation. This is a simple activation that will tune in to wherever you're carrying a burden of childhood, a burden of adulthood, usually in abuse sorts of situations or any kind of trauma. So when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes and relax in your chair. Take a nice big deep breath in and relax as you exhale. Feel yourself sinking into the chair that you're sitting in. The way this activation works is you're going to focus, really search your body for something that is uncomfortable, for a discomfort, especially one that maybe you've been carrying with you for a long time. Think about where it is in your body. Is it a weight on your shoulders? Is it a tightness in your chest? Is it a pain in your neck or your jaw? There's all kinds of different potential. This could even be a physical pain, but my preference here would be that you find one that is more in the torso or the head, the neck, that area, because that's generally where we carry our emotional baggage with us. So see if you can find that spot and really focus in on it. Really think about what it feels like. Imagine that you were describing it to somebody else. And then I want you to picture that I've injected you with a colored dye. You choose the color, and this dye is attracted to your discomfort area. It surrounds it. It fills it in. And so now, not only can you feel what it feels like in great detail, but you can see what it looks like. You can see the shape that this discomfort takes in your body, as though you're looking at your body through an X-ray or an MRI. So now keep focusing on what it feels like and what it looks like. And if you can, think back to the emotional experience that might have caused it in the first place. Sometimes this is nice and obvious and you remember exactly the thing that happened. Other times it's not so clear, and that's okay. But just go ahead and try to remember that experience And if you can, if you do not have PTSD as a result of that experience, try to bring that experience even more strong and full into your mind, into your memory, and into your feelings. See if you can enhance that feeling of discomfort. Make it feel the worst that it's ever felt. Invite that feeling in because you know that it will be temporary. We're going to remove it right now. And the reason that we would dive so deep to bring it to the surface is so we can really root it out and remove it for good. So keep focusing on the experience, keep focusing on the discomfort, make it strong, see what it looks like, know what it feels like, and keep these things in your mind all the way through the activation. The way my activations work is I'm going to say breath in, you'll take a nice big deep breath, you'll hold it at the top, and you'll wait for me to say the word, the key word, awaken. So keep focusing on the feeling. Breath in. Awaken! Good. Okay, so it may take a minute or two for it to go away, maybe 5 minutes, but you can focus on it again if you'd like and see if you can bring it to the surface. You might feel that it's a little bit difficult to do. You might feel that it's moved to a new spot in your body. If it was in your stomach, maybe it's moved up to your throat. This is fairly common, and if you give it time, it may remove completely, but if it doesn't, then you can always go back and listen to this again and focus this time on the new spot and watch it go away from there. When you're ready to step more lightly, to enjoy this life exactly as it is, without this burden that's been bothering you the entire time, when you're ready for this, then you can open your eyes. Thanks so much for participating in that activation. That's incredible. So much fun to do those, and I love how they feel. Now, this is another perfect example of one that if you don't change your mindset vibration, then it could return over time. So definitely take note of those steps. Do a little bit of practice. Do a gratitude practice. I have another video on that as well. And add it to your daily life so that you can make a huge difference. Change your mindset vibration and your energetic vibration all in one. I highly recommend that you also subscribe to this channel and listen to the other activations that I have here. There's one in almost every video, and they're very powerful and they can help with all kinds of different issues. If you're interested in yet even more, then I would suggest that you download one off of my website, a nervousness relief activation. When you're about to go and do something that would normally make you nervous, if you listen to this activation right beforehand, it will completely relieve the symptoms of your nervousness. To make it easier to speak in front of a group, or to ask for a raise, or talk to a family member that you're afraid to talk to, whatever it might be. You can do this just by clicking on the link in the description below. If you're interested in where I am, I'm actually in Las Vegas right now, and I've been here for a few weeks. But it's fall at the time of this recording, and this is the last warm week here in Las Vegas. And it's really warm. I'm quite hot standing here in a suit coat in the desert. But next week, it'll be getting cooler, so I'll be heading south to Phoenix to avoid the cold weather. I get to follow the weather all around the world, which is pretty awesome. So if you are in Phoenix and you would like a one-on-one, in-person session, or just to go out to lunch, then definitely reach out to me if you're watching this video soon after I post it. Thanks again so much for watching this video. It means the world to me to be able to help others and help you. Please recommend this channel to others. There's activations on almost every video, and they're extremely powerful and hopefully extremely helpful. Thanks again, and I love you unconditionally. I'll see you on the next video.